Welcome back to the Professor's Lounge. This is Ray Sean, the Professor, on RWS Radio, hitting you off with the hottest eclectic joints for the past 5 decades. I'm at the Brooklyn Marriott with this week's guest, talented spiritual brother who's been in the game for many years, talented rapper, singer, songwriter, producer, and he's also involved with community service and humanitarian. So let's welcome Mikey Jay to the Professor's Lounge.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. I think you're actually the first guest from Harlem that's been on the show.
Yeah, born in Harlem, New York, raised in the Bronx, and a good portion of my life I was actually raised between the Bronx, Harlem, and the Lower East Side, because my grandmother didn't want my mother on public assistance. So while my mom worked in the nursing field, my grandmother and my Aunt Tracy and my Aunt Kimberly Queen and my Aunt Julius Ann, they cared for me while my mom worked.
That's amazing that you lived between Harlem, the Bronx, and Lower East Side. So what was that experience? Living in those 3 sections, being raised in 3 sections.
Oh man, honestly, I would say I had a pretty good childhood, especially when it came to like being with my Aunt Tracy, my Aunt Kim, and them, because they brought like a lot of fun. Those are my mother's baby sisters. So like my Aunt Tracy, she made it her business. I think she was like 13, and she didn't want to go to school anymore. She wanted to care for me or something, And my Aunt Kim, whenever I wanted to go to the skating rink or whatever I wanted to do, she always gave me money to do what I had to do, or what I wanted to do. And my Aunt Julius Ann, Aunt Betty, she was the same way. She spoiled me, man. Like I had the Batmobile, electric big car. Her boyfriend Ashes, at the time, he spoiled me. So I was pretty alright growing up, especially living between Harlem and the Bronx and the Lower East Side, Eldridge Street actually. So I loved it, man. I had fun in the parks and the sprinklers, and I got to do things that other kids in the urban community, as you want to call it, didn't have a chance to do.
So how did you get involved with music?
Oh wow. My music career actually started, I would say, on a professional level, I would say started around 2002. But the inspiration of music actually was way before that. It actually came about when I saw Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, Herbie Hancock's Rocket. Yeah, we going back. So James Brown, Get On Up. My mother had a real influence on me when it came to music, because she was an eclectic. She listened to whether it was rock, pop, country, you name it, my mother listened to it all. Not really hip hop, that wasn't really her thing, but if she could dance to it, then she was gonna get on up and dance, and my mother was the life of the party. So I would say that my inspiration at that time came from my mother's influence on me. And my career didn't really kick off until I would say when I started in 2002. And in 2005, that's when things really went crazy for me. I was a guest celebrity judge on Wendy Williams' tour for her film about her life, and it was myself, Charlemagne the God, and Angela Covington. She was on that tour with us, and we were the celebrity judges picking the talent. And it was Wendy Williams. Robin Givens portrayed her. Keke Palmer portrayed the young Wendy Williams, and it was a great cast. Unfortunately, the film was completed, and it wasn't put out. And I actually did a few songs for the soundtrack. I did a song for Grandmaster Caz. I did a song with Jazzo. And I did a couple of other songs for the soundtrack. Nicole Ray at the time. So unfortunately the film didn't come out, but it is what it is. And that's when my music career really got started, was on the Wendy Williams tour as her celebrity guest judge.
Oh, that's interesting. So even though the film didn't come out, but it also helped open doors for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't Wendy. Wendy was not the problem. Unfortunately, myself and a few other people didn't get paid for the tour as promised, but it definitely opened the doors for myself and a few other people, such as Charlemagne the God, and Angela Covington. You might know Angela from Baby Boy and Soul Plane and a few other movies that she's been in. And, I definitely would say hats off to Wendy Williams and Faquan from Faquan Films for giving me my start on that level of celebrity status. And then from there, 2009 is when everything really started going crazy for me. So.
Okay, now you actually have a single out for Rock the Planet. What's the inspiration for that song?
Rock the Planet, wow. I did Rock the Planet about 3 years ago with DJ Thump. DJ Thump is the Funkmaster Flex, the Love Bug Starsky, and all them ball into one on the West Coast. He's a legend. And he's actually best friends. His godfather is Alonzo, who actually Dr. Dre worked for. I forgot who portrayed Alonzo in the movie, but definitely big shout out to Alonzo, man. He's a good dude. And Rock the Planet, I went to the studio with DJ Thump. Now he's on Power 88. He's back on Power 88 FM. Big shout out to Power 88 FM for keeping Rock the Planet in rotation and every other station. And it just went from there, man. And we did the video premiere. Mr. Biggs came, Powwow came of the Soul Sonic Force. Unfortunately, Africa Bambaataa, I couldn't invite him because of certain situations that he's alleged of. Every man is innocent until proven guilty, but once you have those kind of allegations and you run and you hide so you don't be brought to court for them allegations, you just showing me your guilt. And that's why I did not invite Africa Bambaataa to my video premiere for Rock the Planet, which is a revamp of the original track of Planet Rock.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because, Bambaataa contributed a lot, but unfortunately, I couldn't invite him. The fortunate part is that Mr. Biggs and Powwow came, Spoonie G came. I got a lot of love from the pioneers of hip-hop, the OGs of this game. And I love the pioneers. I will always show respect and admiration for the pioneers of hip-hop, because at the end of the day, there wouldn't be hip-hop if it wasn't for Grandmaster Caz, Flash, Grandmaster Melly Mel, and the Furious Five, Dana Dane, Nice and Smooth, my cousin Diamond D, DITC, and so many others who came before me,
All right, and that's interesting. That's interesting that you give respect, because we got some of these youngins, they just want to be like, well, these pioneers are old, and everybody have to listen. They went through a lot because they feel real that some people consider rap and hip hop as a passing fancy and a passing fad, and they had to fight to actually be taken seriously.
Yeah, I actually think it's a disrespect. I think it is a disrespect. I know it's it's not even that I don't think it. I know it's a disrespect, and it's like not paying homage to, let's say if I'm an R&B singer and I got Smokey Robinson in the audience and I see him and I know who he is and I don't pay homage to that man, that's a total disrespect. So when you got these younger cats, not paying homage and showing respect to the older generation, it's just a total disrespect, and that's what OG really stands for, the older generations. I'm not original gangster, OG, older generation, and for them not to be paid homage to and respected is not right. Same thing when it comes to, let's say, gospel music. You can't have a gospel artist of the female persuasion performing and she sees Shirley Caesar in the audience and she just totally doesn't even acknowledge Shirley Caesar. That's a disrespect. So, I just say to the younger generation or the generation that's coming up now in hip-hop, you got to start paying your respect. You got to start paying your dues. A lot of them are overnight successes that paid their way through on with other means. You know, not by any means, but other means. You know what I mean? And how you get in is the same way you're gonna get out. And it is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna go into Rock the Planet on the Professor's Lounge. Check it out. All right.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. Right now, I'm on RWS Radio, the Professor's Lounge, with Rashawn, the professor, right here. And I just said, you know, let me get y'all in on my live. Let y'all enjoy the interview. You know, so
yeah,
sit back, enjoy.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna learn a lot. The next single is Power, right?
No, you have Fiendin'. Fiendin', yeah, Fiendin'.
Welcome back to the Professor's Lounge. This is Ray Sean, Professor on RWS Radio, hitting you off with the highest eclectic joints for the past 5 decades. I'm with my guest, Mikey Jay. Now, you have another single out called Fiendin'. What was the inspiration for that tune?
Oh, fiending. I mean, it's who you're fiending for. You know, it's a record that was inspired by Bella Ray, and you know, I just decided to say, you know what? There's a lot of couples out there that need to hear this record and understand what this record is about, and this record is really about yearning for that special person that's in your life nonstop. You're feeling for them. You're feeling for them as if, you know, you're hooked on heroin or an opioid or something like that. And that's what feeling's all about.
I remember that was a big term in the 90s. Everybody was saying fiending, and it paved the way for crushing, it paved the way for crushing.
Yeah.
You mentioned something very early that you want to do something for the couples, because many people they say I want to do a love song for the ladies and the men, but you said let's do something for the couples. How important was you to do a song for the couples to have something to listen to?
It's more so like, look, every man, there's a lot of men out there that call women bitches, whores, sluts, you know, whatever, unwarranted. It's not warranted, you know. Then you got some females who call their dude, you know, bastard. You know, they don't respect them as a king. And you got some kings that don't respect themselves as kings, and some queens as well. I call them false kings and queens. I call them false royalty. You know, so I said, you know what? Anybody can make a record about disrespecting another gender. Let's make a record about unifying that, bringing back that love, that real true love. You know, so that's what Fiend is about.
Oh yes, and you mentioned something really important about the mutual respect, because it seems that many people are saying that, you know, I want to do the songs, and you know that's not expected, but if I don't, they're going to be considered soft. I remember I used to be a singer named he said it seems that you have to be like, you know, rat shit or breaking up people's home just to become famous and to get mainstream success.
Yeah, but that's not true. That's not true. You don't have to. That's called following suit. You don't got to follow suit. And in all actuality, anybody that's following what the next person is doing does not have their own identity. They cannot find who they are. They cannot find their identity. So what they do is they conform. They adapt to what's going on. Myself, I never followed the left. I always went right. I never followed right. I went left. I never traveled down the road, the same path as another artist. I always wanted to, you know, lay my own road work, my own groundwork, you know, and that's what always has set me apart from everybody else. And I've got a lot of love from journalists, music executives, music journalists, and so forth, that they said that, you know, I have a whole different style, and it's hard to detect my style. Detect my style because I'm always switching up my flow. I'm very diverse, I'm very eclectic. So a lot of artists out here talking about, oh, well, you know, that's not true. All you have to do is define who you are. Define yourself to people. Don't try to be the next Jay-Z. Try to be the next you. Set a trend. Become a trendsetter. Stop following the trend and become the trend. And I tell this to artists all day, and whether I'm on music panels or they inbox me some advice, and I tell them, stop following suit. Stop following the trend and become the trend. Stop looking for money and go make the money. You know, you can out there, you can put together your own showcase. You can load up the trunk of a car, your friend's car, with your single, with your CDs. Go grassroots. One person said, "What's that?" I said, "You see, that's why you will never get it. You will never get ahead in music. Besides, music can't do nothing for me ever, like for the rest of my life. Like, there's nothing else I can do in music, and there's nothing else that music can do for me. So, I'm just putting out music because I love to record. I love to perform, you know. But as far as music nowadays, everyone sounds. They all sound like it's repetitive. It's boring. Even the singers nowadays, they all sing the same style, the same octave, the same this. R&B is whack on the mainstream level now, you know. But there's a lot of music that's out there that should be heard. Like, Bella introduced me to this artist through iTunes named I forgot his name, man, but he's in my Jacob Lattimore. Jacob Lattimore, you know, dope artist, you know, great music, you know, Trevor Jackson, another dope artist, you know. So you got artists out there that's making great music,